Today, we have a stacked show for you, for real, because we are taking sandwiches to the next level. All about sandwiches. My first job out of cooking school was at a sandwich stand in San Francisco, believe it or not. I was being paid in bread. It was great. And I would go down from the cooking school and I'd go work for these hippies at the San Francisco Farmers Market. And usually it was like a smoked salmon deal that we did over sourdough. It slayed. It was amazing. So, for our first bite, I'm recreating our salmon club sandwich with crispy skin bacon. Let me roll up these sleeves. This is gonna be really good. We have to choose incredible salmon for this. We love Norwegian salmon. If you're looking for great salmon, it's buttery, it's raised right, incredibly versatile. When we talk about salmon, you can do sandwiches, but think meatballs, think ragouts. Salmon can just span the place everywhere in the kitchen. There's so much you can do with it. And the easiest thing is we want to separate the salmon flesh from the skin. So there's an easy way to do this that not a lot of people know, which is I like a really nice long knife, and I just kind of start in the middle, and I don't go all the way through the skin. I kind of just twist my knife halfway through and just kind of get that first fillet right off, right? And then you flip it so you have like a hold here, and you just do the other side. And that is a really nice, easy way to take off the salmon. And so you're left with the skin, and you just kind of want to wipe it with your knife, try and get a little bit of that excess off. If there's a little scales, that's cool too. And then we're gonna make like a little dunking situation for it. It's like a little bath. So I've got some soy sauce, some smoked paprika, a little bit of maple syrup, and you kind of just whisk that together. And because we're kind of recreating bacon, but with salmon skin, and honestly, it's better than bacon. I'm calling it right now, better than bacon. Should we copyright that? What's going on? That's an actual product. So I'm gonna slice this through into like little strips, and again, just a little dunk, and then just into a sheet tray, and you just lay those down. Even if you're not making a sandwich, if you're making a salad that has salmon in it, or if you're making a pasta, this is like salmon croutons. So healthy, so delicious. There's natural oils in there that are killer, so save the skin. For the actual flesh itself, it couldn't be any easier. We're just gonna go with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and call it a day. Can we all do this so far? What do we think? I think so. So I'm gonna pop both of these suckers in the oven, 375 for about 20 minutes. So I like to flip the skin halfway through, but you'll start to smell it, right? And once you smell it, the flesh is gonna be really nice and flaky and buttery, and the skin is gonna be crispy, unbelievable. And that is what sandwiches, I feel like it's all about. It's about that balance. And we have an amazing sandwich connoisseur, someone who's local, and if you're coming to Seattle or if you're a Seattleite, you probably already know him, but Dan Crookston from Mean Sandwich. I'm gonna make the sandwich, and then I'm gonna try the Mean Sandwich, and you're gonna try my salmon club.
I'm excited.
All good sandwiches need a sauce. I think when you think about making an aioli or a mayonnaise, you get kind of like intimidated, and you just kind of reach for the jar. If you look on the back of those jars nowadays, there is some crap on the back of those. There's like 14 ingredients, half of them I can't even pronounce. So it's nice to make one from scratch. And if you have the right tool, like we love this KitchenAid immersion blender, it's incredible. And if you have the right tool, that turns on. Let's see if this thing, oh, is it locked? There we go. You'd think a chef knows how to unlock something. We learned. You can actually whip it right up. So all you do is just grab an egg, grab a little oil, okay? Mustard, hot sauce. I go big on the hot sauce. We like hot sauce here or not really? I like a punch, you know, I like a little punch. Basil. So this is like a little bit of a basil aioli, all right? And then you can do a little bit of lemon zest, just a little bit, like half a lemon, and then just like half a lemon juice. And everyone thinks when you're making an aioli that you have to like slowly pour in the oil and emulsify it. If you have, like I said, a power tool, like this immersion blender, it's game over. So you just kind of stick it in, and you just kind of whip it up. And if you hold this long enough, look at this. Isn't that awesome? So we have one that's kind of already sat and kind of infused, and now I'm gonna build the sandwich, and I think, tell me if I'm wrong, you can have all the elements of a sandwich. Dan, weigh in on this. But if you're not gonna stack it right, you could screw it up.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's an order to this thing, okay? So we're going bread first, obviously. But Then we're going little schmear, not too much. So this is our basil aioli. But to protect it, to not get overly soggy with our salmon or anything, you gotta have a little bit of lettuce. Normally you can bypass a little lettuce, but it's there as like a helmet. So I kind of crack that lettuce on top, and then I grab some of this salmon that we just roasted simply, and I kind of just break it. And I like big pieces of this. This is how we did it at the salmon stand. I want to know it's salmon. I don't want to think it's cat food, right? This should be like big, beautiful pieces. Tomatoes, a little bit of avocado, and then, guys, this is where it gets crazy. Just listen to this. This is the skin, okay? If yours isn't crispy right away, just let it sit in the oven for like another 5 minutes. Listen. Crazy. Crazy. I won't serve you that one. So you put the skin down. Should we double stack this? Are we going big? There's only one. I feel like with this crew, there's only one level we got going. So I go another layer here, right on top, and then you just treat it like it's game on again. So layer, edge to edge. Does this not look insane? More of that salmon. Crazy. Some tomato. And then we've got a little bit more of that bacon. Last piece, a little bit more. This is not, I mean, you're gonna need a nap after this. No one said this is like, you go for a run after this, but then you just kind of crunch it down, right? And then you just kind of break into that. And you know this puppy's gonna fall apart. So that's why we have, you know, in honor of our Norwegian salmon friends, a little bit of a, and also our Ballard friend here. So let me just show you guys what this looks like. Look at this puppy. So what's on yours?
I have thick griddled corned beef, a little bit of maple Vermont syrup, pickled red cabbage, fresh picked mint, and then our house-made mustard.
Yeah, that's not gonna suck. That's not gonna suck. Should we go a bite at it, Sam?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
This is the one cooking show we look disgusting when we eat. Here we go. Dude. No, hug. So good, so good. So if you're making a salmon sandwich like this or anything else or just a salmon dish, you're gonna want the best seafood in general. There's an incredible market here in the United States that we went and took a behind the scenes look at. Take a look at this. The team at Wolf's know salmon. This family-run business started in 1926 when Sam Wolf walked the Boston Fish Pier early every morning, searching for the day's best catch. Now, they are the provider of some of the best seafood to chefs and home cooks across the country.
A very popular way to have salmon is just a regular portion cut that comes from the loin. There's so much more that can be done. There are the belly strips, there are the collars, cross-cut steaks. You can cook the fish whole.
It takes skill and expertise to go from a whole fish to beautiful cuts of salmon that end up on our plates. Even after all these years, they cut every fish by hand.
So this is an Atlantic salmon that was farm raised in Norway. And the first cut he's usually gonna make is right behind the gill plate. That'll expose the collar, which is right here. So he's scored along the back, and now he's basically going to make his way to the spine. This will make sure that he has all of the meat on the fillet side and less on the bone side.
When I was getting taught on how to cut over there, they told me that you cut a good fish if you can see light through it on the other side.
So what Alexis is going to do now is he's going to trim it up so that it's ready for portioning.
This could be a pound, half pound. I have a lot of years cutting fish. We have a scale. We check every single one though, but I'm fairly confident that this is a pound. This is a little bit over half a pound, but that's okay.
I love fish. There's so much more versatility and variation in fish. You have an abundance of species to pick from and so many different ways to prepare it and eat it.
Next time you're at the store, whether it's fresh or frozen, you can appreciate what it took to get that salmon ready for your plate. All right, we're still on the sandwich show. We've got an amazing culinary creator. His videos don't just get millions of views. Guys, they get billions of views. He is dubbed the Sandwich King, Owen Han, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, brother? Thanks for doing this.
Of course, thank you.
Dude, it's trippy having you here because you're in my feed on social media every day, right?
Good.
And you are just like this household name. You're just climbing the ranks. But what people don't know about Owen is just like years earlier, you were working in hospitals? What was happening?
I was, and every time I say I was working in a hospital, people think, oh, like nurse or doctor. I was literally delivering food to patients and taking their meal orders.
I love it. I mean, I love it. Yeah, yeah.
So I've always wanted to work with food and figured everyone loves hospital food, right? So the goal was to go back to school for dietetics, and then after about a year in the hospital, realized that really wasn't the environment I was looking for.
Yeah.
And luckily, I stumbled upon TikTok and realized it's more than just a dancing app. I saw food videos. I was like, I got to get in on this. So.
And like your second video went like insane, right?
Yes, and that's exactly what we're making today. It was a recipe from my grandma's cookbook.
Dude, I love it. Well, we're gonna make your ma's, this is your grandma's,
Yeah.
shrimp toast, and we're gonna take our own little spin on it. So that is our next bite. By the way, this is your grandma's cookbook she gave
It
you?
is, yes, passed down.
This puppy's been through the ringer.
Oh, that's hanging on for dear life. Yeah. If you look inside too, what's really cool is she has her handwritten notes in here.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't read a lot of it. And it's like all watermarked and whatnot, and especially the Chinese characters.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
probably like count to 10 in Chinese, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, you're half Chinese, half Italian.
half Italian yet, so I can
Dude.
speak Italian, but no Chinese.
That's incredible. So I was talking to Owen, and we wanted to make this shrimp toast, and we're going to, but we're going to put an Italian spin on it to kind of represent both sides of Owen's background. So step one, I know, is we need stale bread.
Yes.
Why stale bread?
So stale works really well in holding the paste together,
Okay.
and then it won't fall apart when you fry it as well.
All right, so we've got our stale bread. What is next step?
So the first thing really is making the paste.
Okay.
So you can
pop
chop
this over
everything pretty much by hand, but if you want to be a little quicker and not make that big of a mess, you just use a food processor.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll throw in cilantro, celery, and scallion,
Okay, everyone in the pool.
and then
else?
give that a little rough chop.
Okay.
And basically, you just want everything to be pretty much fine because it's going to be spread evenly. So then we're going to pulse the shrimp.
Okay. Now, if it wasn't shrimp, if it was halibut, if it was something else, is that cool?
I've never tried it, but that sounds awesome.
It's cool. It will
Okay.
work. Yeah, yeah. And by the way, a lot of people I know are asking, this is the KitchenAid food chopper. This thing has no cords. So you can just, it's like Simba. Here we go. Kind of amazing. When you have a bunch of bowls and stuff, it's not that it's nice to have it. So you basically made like the shrimp peanut butter.
I guess.
It's a shrimp spread. I love it. All right, so we have our shrimp spread, and do I just take this out onto a bowl?
Into a bowl and then refrigerate for probably 15 minutes. You just really want it to firm up.
All right, so what is next step here?
Next step, we're gonna remove the crust of the bread. Now, you can leave it if you want, but truthfully, I think when you fry the crust, I really don't like the taste of it, and also it looks a lot cleaner when you go to cut it. And
Is
it's
that
just
how Ma did
uniform.
it?
That's how Ma did it, and so you don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So you just take this white bread like this, Owen, and just
Just
spread,
an even spread.
and you kind of just edge out the sides. We have some just vegetable oil in here. A way to test that you like is this.
Yeah, so you're gonna use the crust to see if the
Oh,
oil is hot
yes.
enough, if it starts to bubble. Another trick too is the end of a chopstick.
But
you
yeah,
have
a
the
little
bread,
wood.
so-
Yeah. All right, so let's do 2 of these, yeah? You guys would make this, or what do you think? Is this crazy? Dude, I think this is crazy. So do you come from a big family, or is it just you?
I'm one of 6, so
Whoa.
there's a lot of us. Yeah.
Where do you fall in the 6?
Second youngest, but still my mom's favorite.
That's what they all say.
No, but it's true. Like everyone knows that.
I love how he's like defending it. He's like, yeah, no, it's real. It's real. All right, so these are frying. Do we have to babysit them, or they're fine?
2 minutes, and then you're gonna want to flip them. Next, we're gonna make the spicy Asian mayo. So this is kind of like a gochujang mayo.
And it's kind of fermented. It's got this kind of like umami richness to it. It kind of looks like this. You can find it at every grocery store now. If you can't find this, just go with like sriracha. It'll be really good. So in a bowl?
In a bowl, and then we're also gonna add a little bit of sesame oil to loosen it up.
Okay.
So it'll come out a little more liquid.
So we have this really simple mayo. Should we give those a flip?
Yes.
Let's take a look at this.
I feel like I would just do 2 chopsticks. So there's a lot going on with.
Well, welcome to homemade, baby. We screwed up. Oh, that looks
Oh, wow.
gorgeous.
There we go.
That's great. You got it. It's crazy. I mean, this looks so golden brown. This looks so different, like something you would never make, but it's so easy and so refreshing. All right, we thought it would be fun to mix it up and put a little prosciutto and mortadella and pickled Calabrian chilies, because that's all Italian ingredients, right? So what would you guys have? Like, would you have lasagna one night, and then are you having, like, you know, a stir fry the next?
A little different. So summers we're in Italy, and that's where I would be eating Italian food with nonna. And then in Florida, where my dad was like the cook of our family, which is crazy because my mom, being Italian, can't cook at all. We would do breakfast for dinner, or we would just go eat out. That was pretty much
Really?
it. She can make great eggs and cereal. That's about it. But,
Sorry, Mom. Yeah.
So primarily, my dad would be cooking Chinese, but it's great because as a kid, I was exposed to two of some of the best cuisine cultures. I got Italian in the summers, Chinese growing up.
Yeah, I don't know why you look like this and I look like this. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, these look ready to go. So do we just drain them at this point?
Yeah, so we're just gonna take them off and then
Look at
add
these
them
guys, look at
to a wire rack to drain.
Gosh. No, typically, like at this point, Owen, right, you can just slice them in triangles like that. I mean, that
Exactly.
is an appetizer. That for lunch, just for having people over with a little side salad, killer.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's shrimp toast. That's beautiful. But again, we're gonna take this to the next level. Before we do, we'll let that cool for a sec. Like, again, you're a content creator. So writing a cookbook, hard, weird, what was that process like?
Definitely different. I'm used to just like making a mess in my kitchen, and that's pretty much it. And,
That's all you do is just make messes in your kitchen? I love it.
But this, I didn't know it was a 2-year process from the moment you sign to it coming out.
Isn't that nuts? I wrote a cookbook. It literally takes 2 years.
Yeah.
Guys, literally 2 weeks ago, he's with Martha Stewart making sandwiches. Yeah, I mean, literally. I love how he get Martha. Yeah, he's like Martha. Who else? What other big celebs have you sandwiched it up with?
Martha Stewart, Padma Lakshmi,
Yeah.
Alex Carnacelli. So to me, like, this has been such an amazing part of what I do. Is I grew up idolizing these people, watching them on TV, and now I get to work with them and meet them in real life, and it's honestly surreal.
Dude, we idolize you. Your videos are insane. When you look at social media and you think, oh, this guy has tons of views, he's amassed this a big audience, you think, oh, it just happens. No, this is a science. These guys are tinkering in their kitchen. They're trying 1 second this, 1 second that. It's analytics, it's a lot. So what they do is a real craft, and it's the next generation, guys. So we got to give it up. He's a total. I mean, it's amazing. All right. Speaking of next generation, let's see if this works. We're doing this live. We don't really know what we're doing. Would you go sauce first, or what would you do?
Definitely sauce first.
Do it. You're the sandwich king. I'm like
All right,
scared to be
so-
next to you on this. Yeah.
We'll do a nice little.
So we've got a surf and turf. We've got shrimp paste on the bottom. We got this spicy, gorgeous gochujang mayo.
So typically I would just cut this in half and serve it as is, but we'll go
That
with the
looks
meat.
amazing. Dude, he's got the hands, dude. Keep it
The
nice
best
and light.
cold cut of all time, fancy bologna mortadella.
You think that's the best cold cut? No, prosciutto, baby. What?
Well, we got both of the best.
I know,
on
no,
there, so
yeah, we're not. So then we're gonna top this puppy?
I would go a little Calabrian chili.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love spice, so we're just gonna pile it on.
Yes. And then if you want a little bit of chives just to be fancy. I love it.
That's all about the cross section, so we'll see how this.
Dude, this is gonna work. This is so gonna work. Oh, yeah, look at this. Dude, that looks killer.
Shrimp toast as bread.
Yeah, you love
Genius.
it. All right, this is Owen Han as a sandwich. Let's give it a try. Dude, I'm not kidding. One of the better sandwiches I've ever had in my life. That's so good.
That's
Give
nuts.
it up. That's so
That's
fire.
crazy.
You're gonna need a mop after you eat it, but it's insane. Unbelievable. That is a very trendy sandwich. I hope it trends. But one of the biggest trends in sandwich making right now is shokupan bread. Have you guys seen this bread? Really fluffy Japanese bread. There's a Brooklyn restaurant that's using shokupan making Taku Sand. It's like the next hottest sandwich spot. It's a new series we're doing called Beyond the Bite. So take a look at this. All the way down at the end of Greenpoint Ave is one of the best little sandwich shops in the city, Taku Sand.
My name is Kyo.
I'm his co-owner of Taku Sand as well.
6 years ago, I visited back to Japan with my American friends. I asked him the last day, which is your favorite, Japanese food? He said sando, the Japanese sandwich.
And usually for the Japanese katsu sandwich, Japanese katsu, panko fried pork, very thick and use the loin. But the heat changed the mind. Little thin as a shoulder and then loin when it double. And the sauce is a one-sided sauce. And they keep the crisp and then keep the juicy and keep the like saucy. Man, a good idea.
It looks like an American sando, but the taste Japanese sando.
The flavors are classically Japanese, but what makes Taku Sand sandwiches so special is their homemade shakupan. They make dozens of loaves of this delicious Japanese milk bread every day.
Real Japanese style is a very fluffy and very moisturized bread.
Sweet and fluffy shakupan is perfect for a thick cut toast and the best sandwich bread when it's cut thinner and filled with Kyo's incredible flavors.
Looks American sandwich, but the taste, wow, Japanese. Yeah, people say, wow, right? Wow.
Arigato.
Arigato.
We are back with the sandwich king himself, Owen Han. And if we're doing a sandwich episode, we decided that the cocktail has to fit within that. So we're doing a pickle juice martini. All right, so we have freezing cold little coupe glasses, right? We put these in the freezer so they're nice and frosty. Good martini's got to stay cold, right, Owen?
I'm not a big martini guy.
Okay, all right. We're gonna do it.
But for this segment, I am.
Yeah. I love it. So we've got some ice in a shaker. We've got a little bit of vermouth. So Owen, you're gonna go with that. But have you ever used pickle juice in anything like Bloody Mary or anything like that?
I've used it as pre-workout before the gym.
Again, this is why you look like this and I look like this. So we're gonna go with a couple of ounces of your favorite gin. And then this is where it gets a little cray, but this is so easy. It's like 3 ingredients. Grab your favorite pickles. Just go with a nice spoonful in there. And I want the dill, I want the coriander seeds, I want the sugar from that.
Just
all
one.
the stuff. Yeah, just one. And then just throw on the lid. Make sure to hold that on.
I've never made a martini before. So
Really? Everyone looks cool when they shake it, baby. Let's see it.
did I do it right?
Oh, you did it right. Just hold the
What
top
if it
when you
spills
shake.
everywhere?
I feel like I'm teaching someone who shouldn't be making drinks how to make drinks. Okay. Yeah.
Shake?
Shake it up. Yeah.
It's so cold.
Oh, I love it. All right, now just pop up the top, all right? And then you just kind of pour these out, and you have this kind of just beautiful, smooth, simple cocktail. Anyone can rock this out. And honestly, this chilled with a really crispy, like with the sandwich that we just rocked out, would be amazing. Just to kind of like, you know, enhance the dilliness or the pickleness, just take a couple of fronds right over the top. And I just want to say, dude, you are literally, you are the king. And you are such at a young, exciting age, and you're the next generation of media, of sandwiches. We're all following, we're all rooting for you. Thank you for being here.
You're the ultimate, hype man. Thank you.
This episode, the sandwiches started here. We took it here. Mission accomplished. I want to thank this amazing audience. I want to thank you at home. We will see you next time. Cheers.